Dear students, welcome to my online class. In previous class, we discussed about the topic whole numbers. Today, I listing some points regarding natural numbers and whole numbers. Points are: in natural number part, 1 is the smallest whole number. In whole number part, 0 is the smallest whole number. Here, 1 is the smallest whole number, but in whole number part, 0 is the smallest whole number. This is the difference between natural number and whole numbers. There is no largest natural number. Here is also there is also no largest whole number. What does it mean? Natural number are countless, or there are innumerable numbers of natural numbers are innumerable. There is also no largest whole number, means whole numbers are also innumerable, means whole numbers are countless. 0 is not a natural number, but 0 is a whole number. This is the difference between natural number and whole number. Every natural number has its successor. Here is also every whole number has its successor. To get a successor of a whole number, what will you do? We add 1 with the given number, then you get the successor of this number. Number 5, there is no natural number whose successor is 1. That means 1 has no predecessor. Here there is no whole number whose successor is 0. That means 0 has no predecessor. Number 6, every natural number is a whole number. Here, every whole number is not a natural number. That means, in whole numbers starting from 0, 0 is not a natural number. That's why we can say every whole number is not a natural number. When we discuss number line, we saw that there is no whole number on the left of 0. That means when you draw a number line, zero is the starting point, and you have to go on like this. So there is no whole number on the left of 0. 0 is the starting point. Left hand side of 0, there is no number. That's why I can say there is no whole number on the left of 0. Every whole number on the number line is greater than every whole number on its left. That means on the number line, suppose here is a T. Left sided numbers are 0, 1, 2, left sided of 0, and 4 and 5 right sided of 3. Left sided of 3, all numbers are less than 3, and right sided of 3, 4 and 5. That means all numbers which are right sided of 3 are greater than 3. Every whole number on the number line is less than every whole number on its right. When we add two or more numbers on the number line, we get that addition corresponds to moving to the right on the number line. When you add 2 or more numbers, you have to move towards the right. And when you subtract any number from a given number, then subtraction corresponds to moving to the left by as many units. That means when you subtract any number, then you have to move towards the left. Multiplication corresponds to making jump of equal distance starting from 0. So these are the discussions which I discussed in previous classes. Today I am going to discuss some properties of whole numbers. What are the properties of whole numbers? So first property is number 1, closure property of addition and multiplication of whole numbers. Suppose A is a whole number and B is a whole number. When we add these two whole numbers, we get another whole number C. That means whole number plus whole number, you get another whole number. This is called closure property of whole numbers in addition. Say for example, in place of A we write 2, in place of B we write 3, then 2 plus 3 equal to 5. 2 is a whole number, 3 is also a whole number, and 5 is another whole number. That's why whole numbers are closed under addition. Like this, regarding multiplication, A is a whole number and B is a whole number, the product is also a whole number. So, say for example, A is a 3 and B is a 4, and 3 4 is 12. So 12 is also a whole number. This is called closure property of whole numbers under multiplication. But it is not possible in subtraction. Suppose A minus B, A is a whole number and B is a whole number, you get C, another whole number, when A is greater than B or B is equal to, A is equal to B. When B is greater than A, when B is greater than A minus B not equal to a whole number. Say for example, A is 2 and B is 3 and C equal to minus 1. So minus 1 is a negative number, is a negative integer, that's why minus 1 is not a whole number. So closure property is not closed under subtraction. Likewise, closure property in multiplication is also when A is a whole number, B is a whole number, A divided by B may or may not be a whole number. Suppose 4 divided by 2, answer is 2. So 2 is a whole number. When 3 divided by 2, which is not a whole number. So closure properties are not closed regarding subtraction and division. Next property is commutative property. What is the commutative property? So A is a whole number and B is a whole number. Then if you interchange the position of A and B, here A is first and B is second, then B plus A. When you change the order of A to whole numbers, then sum does not affect on this. So this is called commutative or order property. Suppose A is a 3 and B is 4, then 4 plus 3 equal to 7. So both the cases addition does not affect on interchanging the whole numbers. Next, this is commutative property of addition and commutative property of multiplication equal to B into A. Similarly, say for example, A is 3 and B is 4, and in place of B there is 4 and there is 3 and product is also 12. So both this case 3 4 is 12 and 4 is 12. The result does not affect when we interchange the whole numbers between them. This is called commutative property. So commutative property regarding subtraction. Suppose A is a whole number and B is another whole number. So A minus B may be whole number or may not be a whole number when B greater than A. Suppose say for example A is 4 and B is 3. 4 minus 3 equal to 1. It's a whole number. When you interchange 3 minus 4 is a minus 1. So it does not equal to 3 minus 4. That means A minus B does not equal to B minus A. So this is commutative property is not applicable in subtraction. Likewise, commutative property is not applicable in division also. That means A divided by B does not equal to B divided by A. So commutative property applicable only addition and multiplication, not applicable in subtraction and division. Now third property. Third property is what? Associative property. Associative property. Suppose A is a whole number and B is another whole number and C is also whole number. So associative property is sometimes called grouping property. So addition of three whole numbers, first you have to group between A and B and A with C, and then you have to group with B and C and A keep along, then sum of this result does not affect on the grouping property. First group is A plus B here, second group is B plus C. This is called associative property of addition. Likewise, A into B plus B into C or A into B into C. This is called associative property of multiplication. So we now go to an example. Suppose A equal to 2, B equal to 3, 2 plus 3 and C equal to suppose 4. Here grouping between 2 and 3 and 2 plus 3 plus 4. 2 plus 3 equal to 5, 5 plus 4 equal to 2, 3 plus 4 equal to 7. This is 9 and this is left hand side equal to right hand side. So associative property of addition, the result will be same. Now regarding multiplication, suppose A is a 2 and B is 3 and C is 4. What happens? 2 into 3 plus 4, 12, 2 3 is 6 into 4. 2 12 is 24 and 6 4 is 24. This is called associative property or grouping property of whole numbers. Now, last property. What is the last property? Last property is distributive property. Distributive property. Suppose A is a whole number and this means you have to distribute A between B and C. A into B plus A into C. This is called distributive property of multiplication over addition. Next, distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. A into B minus A into C. This is called distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. So these are the properties of whole numbers. Now we are going to discuss in detail through exercise. Now we have to do some exercise using this property. Dear students, using the properties of whole numbers, we have to do some problems. Determine the sum by suitable rearrangement. Suitable rearrangements means you have to arrange, you have to group the numbers according to your choice, which calculation make it easy. 627, 808, 373. These are the three numbers. When I grouping 627 and 373, because addition of these two numbers we get 1000. So zeros are there. When any number has 0, it is very easy to add with another number. So I take advantage. When you grouping these two numbers, we get number of 0. Instead of adding all three numbers, we take this advantage. So this is called grouping property. So 627 plus 373 we grouping together, and 808 keep alone. So addition of these two numbers, 7 plus 3 equal to 0, carry 1, 3 plus 7 equal to 10, 0 carry 1, 7 plus 3 equal to 10. So addition of these two numbers is 1000, and 1808 it will 1808. So this is the sum by suitable rearrangement. Next example, 3052, 363, 1548 plus 637. So here are three numbers, here are four numbers. So students, what will you do? First you have to make group 1052 grouping with 1548, because 8 plus 2 equal to 10. This is 0, carry 1, and 5 plus 5 equal to 10, carry 1, 6 plus 0 equal to 6, 1 plus 3 equal to 4. So addition of these two numbers I get 4600. Now I group 363 and 637. So you have to grouping these two numbers within this bracket, and grouping this and these numbers, another grouping, another group, and write within this bracket. So addition of these two numbers is what? 3 plus 7 equal to 10, carry 1, 4 plus 6 equal to 10, 0, carry 1, 7 plus 3 equal to 10. So this is 1000 and this is 400, 6000. Addition of these two numbers I get 5600. So this is another example of rearranging the numbers by suitable process. Next example, see 847 plus 306 plus 453. So which number do you select for grouping? Here is 7, here is 3. Addition of 7 plus 3 is 10. That's why grouping of these numbers and this within this bracket. You do not grouping 6 and 7, 6 plus 7 equal to 30. Here 6 plus 3 equal to 9. So it is convenient to grouping this number and this within this bracket. So 847 plus 453 group together and keep 306 alone. Addition of these two numbers is 1300 and plus this number 306. Now addition of this and this, how much? This will 6 plus 0 6, 0 plus 0 0, 3 plus 3 6, and this is 1606. Now last fourth example, question number D. 1852 plus 653 plus 1648 plus 547. In this example also, I group these numbers with this number. These two numbers grouping together, and these numbers grouping another way. So addition of this and this equal to 8 plus 2 equal to 10, carry 1, 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 0, carry 1, 7, 7 plus 8, 15, 5, carry 1, 2, 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Now addition of 3 plus 7 equal to 10, carry 1, 5 plus 5 equal to 10, carry 1, and 5 plus 6 equal to 12. So in this number has 2 zeros, this number has 2 zeros. So when there are zeros in a number, it is very easy to adding these numbers. So addition of these two numbers are 0 plus 0 0, 0 plus 0 0, 2 plus 5 7, and 3 plus 1 equal to 4. So 4700. So these are the examples of some questions by suitable rearrangement. We do this sum using properties. This is called grouping properties. With these grouping properties, we can solve or you can evaluate the answer using the properties. So dear students, today I want to stop here. Next we come with another problems using the properties of whole number. Thank you. Goodbye.